Last week we already learned about the basic HTML, and we know that in the HTML there are two sections, the head and body. So today we are going to focus on the body section, and on the body section there will be many things that we can learn. So we are going to learn also about tables, and we are going to learn about forms, and we are going to learn about frames a little bit, because nowadays people not use frames, but let me just explain to you for the basic one. So let's look at the first part, which is about the body. The body section describes the viewable portion of the page. So if you have any web page, then the body is the main focus for creating the page. And the body starts after the head section. So head, as you may know, head section define many things. For example, the title of the web, and then the description or any other functions for the web. And body, we have the tag. We start with the body and end with body with backslash. So with slash. So we learn about the head section. The head section will be in the upper side after the HTML. And then we will have the body section. Let's see one by one what we can do in the body. In the body section, we can make some kind of word format like the in Angular or Microsoft Word. You will have heading. So what is heading? Usually we call this as the header, or it is the title with the big letters. If it is 1, then it is the biggest one. If it is 6, this is the smallest one. So we have H1 to indicate this is the heading number 1. And then we have H2 smaller than H1, H3 smaller than H2, and so on. And the maximum will be 6. So there will be no more than 6. P represent paragraph. And then we can separate the body into some sections. We call it div and span. For div, usually we can put this as a kind of block. And then span, we just use it for a part of the paragraph. Maybe we want to just modify the word first paragraph, then we can use span. But for the div, usually we have a kind of block. So let's see about this example. Okay, I'm going to use the Notepad++ at this moment. Okay, we will start using the PyCharm next week. So I will copy and paste this into the my Notepad++. And you may know that you can just save it as the HTML file. So I'm going to just put as all types, and then let me put the title as headings.html. So let's see how we can see the result. So for the heading 1, you can see this is the biggest one. And then the heading 2, this is smaller than heading 1, but it is bigger than heading 3. And then subheading 3. And then this is paragraph. this is paragraph, and this is a div. So a div means something with one line or one block. So I have only one line at this example, and you can see that in every of this tag, actually, you can put a kind of attribute. So there is no attribute here, but in the div, we have one attribute, which is about style. So the style of this div will have a background and the color is sky blue. So we can make any attribute for every of the tag in the HTML. And in the HTML, there are many kind of text formatting. So the text formatting will be similar with the word processor. Like I want to make the text as bold. Then you can change the tag with P and close with the /p. If you want to make it as italic, then you can put I. If you want to make underline, you can use U. If you want to make superscript, you can make with the sub. If you want to make as a subscript, you can put as SUB, sub. And then if you want to make it bold, similar to this one, so you can put the tag strong. If you want to make an italic, it is the same with the italic. You can make emphasize or EM. Pre-formatted text, usually we have a kind of text for the code like in JavaScript or Python. Okay, it is the specific code, not a text. So we can make with the special font for this pre-formatted text. And then code, I think this is just additional tag from the HTML. And then if you want to delete, it means we don't need the text anymore, or we want to inform the person that some date has been changed. So maybe the due date should be March 3. But okay, due to some requests, the deadline has been extended. So we want to delete this one, but we still need to inform that the original date is March 3. So we can just make a kind of strike 2, and then we have a new deadline. For example, March 10. Okay, so we can just make the strike 2 to inform the users that this date has been delayed for 1 week. Okay, let's see about this text formatting. Maybe this is not complete text formatting, but this is just for some of the text formatting. Again, I will save it into the HTML. Okay, first is about the notice. And then this is a sample web page. Next paragraph, pre-formatted, and more info, something like this one. And if you look at the page here, I put additional information here. So in the common ways to write the HTML, you just define that it is a kind of document and the format will be HTML. But some of the web page, they declare what is their standard. So if the web refers to the standard from HTML, they have a kind of information or reference. So for example, you can click this one. So this is a kind of standard. They call it the extensible HTML. XHTML. It is standard and they define for every kind of tag that you can use. So if you cannot see any information in your web page, maybe your web browser has some problems with their standard. That's why they put this kind of information, so you can refer to the standard when the web page has been created. And then we can see here the head is about the title and the body. The body, we have the H1, which is the heading one. And then in the paragraph, okay, we want to emphasize something. So here, use the emphasize. And then for the next paragraph, we want to pre-format. This is the pre-format, and you can see the result. The font is a little bit different compared to the original paragraph. And H2 is the heading 2, and then this is another paragraph. And okay, this is BR, it is break. Break means it goes to the next line. So if you want to cut some of the paragraph and you want to go to the next line, you can use BR and then put the slash at the end. In the body section, we will use a lot about hyperlinks. In the hyperlink, maybe because now we are in the introduction stage, so I cannot give a proper example, but let's see with this simple one. Let's create a parent.html, and I want to link the document, or I want to link from the parent to another page, which is form.html. It means in the parent.html, we will do something like this. We will make it A. A refers to any kind of hyperlink reference. And I want to connect to this HTML file. It means if I click the word fill our form, then it will open the form.html. If I have a folder inside, then it will go to the folder inside and find any file with the name child.html. So let's see. I'm going to create a parent.html. And then I'm going to put this one. And I just simplify, okay, the HTML. Actually, if you want to make the complete one, of course, you need to make the HTML, and then, yeah, you need to make the closing tag like this one. But let me make it short for this purpose. For this one, I have only two references, okay, and then let me make it as a parent.html. And then let me make a new file, form.html, and I will put it into the same folder, and I will just put this one. P is the paragraph. So the name is form.html. Now I would like to check if I call this pen and then I click this fill our form. So you will go to form.html. now create folder inside and create child.html. And I want to link a document called parent.html on the same server in the parent directory. So yeah, I will copy this one and then I will make a new file. So this file name will be child.html. But the difference is I would like to save this one into a folder. So I will make a folder here. Zero Mandaluki. So I will make a folder and the folder name is inside. Okay, you can create any name actually, but for this example, let me just create inside. So I will save this child.html in the inside folder. So let me run again. This is the parent.html and I want to go to the child. Then this is the child page. So this is the child page. And then I want to go back to the parent page. So you can just click this one and it goes back to the parent page. How we need to define on the HTML code is, we just write the folder name if you want to go to the child.html. But if you want to go back to the parent page, then you need to define where is the parent. In this case, the parent is on the previous folder. So the previous folder can be indicated by dot slash. Okay. We can connect to the external link. The external link or external website means any website like Google or other things, and we can use the Ahref. And as you can see, the Ahref refers to the link that you want to go or the page that you want to click or anything as long as it is related to the file. And then you need to define what are the texts that will be shown up in the web page. And we have another attribute, we call it target. So the target, first, always use a full URL, including the http dot slash, not just the site name. If you just use the site name, there might be some errors or it will not work. Especially nowadays, you can define not only HTTP, there is also another HTTPS. There's also another type. We have the FTP and other things. Okay, so make sure that you define properly for this one. And we can specify the target. The target means what you want to do when you click the link. If you make as blank, then it will open the link in a new window. So other values, for example, if you want to put into the same page, then you will put it as a parent. If you want to put into the same tab, then it is self. If you want to define the frame, so there is also another kind of HTML, we call it frame, then you can put where is the frame location. For example, the top, then you can put the top. Usually the frame, we can define top, left, right, bottom, or center. Or if you want to specify the specific frame, but maybe these days people do not use frame anymore because we use only the single page for everything. Now let's see. Let me use in the parent. Okay. So I have Google, and I'm going to access to this link, and the target is blank. So you can see there's a Google here. So you can click Google, and then it opens Google, and it is on the next window or the next tab. Okay. So you can have like parent. You can try what will happen if you put the target as parent. So if you click, then on the same tab it will be changed. So that's why it is good to design. If you want to open a new link, where will be the new link? Whether it is in the same tab or is it in the new tab? And you can also think about self. So self is almost the same. Okay. Now we don't have any frame. That's why I think the result will be similar. So if you open Google, so it will be in this case. You can also make the link as a part of your email. So if you go to any website, you will find that some websites provide a kind of help or call center, or for example, question and answer section. And if you have any question, you can send email. So when you click, then you will go to the particular email. And you can also define some kind of subject that you want to mention to the receiver. So for example, if you, I don't have any in the Outlook. Usually if you connect with the Outlook, Microsoft Outlook, it is automatically create the email. So if I have this one, if you click this, it opens the Microsoft Outlook, and then it automatically create the email, the receiver, and the title, because you define where is the email to, mail to this email address, and the subject is about bug report. If you have a very long document, or if you have a long HTML, so you can also make a kind of section. You can link to another page or another HTML, but you can also link to the same page but different section. So in the HTML, you can define the ID, and the ID refers to section. Maybe I have an example later. So if I want to go to a special section, let's say I'm going to go to the section number 1. So you need to specify, is there any tag with the ID refer to the section name? So here I put the shop. Shop means I want to go to this ID, and then the ID is section 1 is the ID that you want to put. So the ID, you can make different type of ID, like say section 3.1.1. Okay. And you can also define the ID with the file name. So for example, I want to go to the chapter 3.html, and let's just focus on the ID section 3.1.1. Maybe it's good to see with this one. Okay, let me check with this one. So in this case, there are three sections: section 1, section 2, section 2.1, and I put them as ID. If I click this one, it should go to the section 1. If I click this one, it should go to section 2, and if I click this one, it should go to section 2.1. Let's see. Maybe it's not that okay good, because it is located in the same page, so we are not it's difficult to distinguish. So maybe I will do like this one. So I put very long, and then let me put a lot of PR. Okay. So yeah, if it is too long, then I can because it is in the same page. Okay, let's suppose I have this now. Okay, now I cannot see the introduction. So if I click, then it goes to the introduction. So if I go back to the upper side, if I click some background, then it goes to the section that I refer to. If I click on the project history, then it goes to the section on the project history. Other important tag is image. So you may provide some images for making a fancy HTML. So in the image, we are going to embed the image into the web, and we use the img refers to image, and we need to find where is the source. So the source, usually we will create a new folder, and the folder, as the programmers know, image is img, so people will use img as the folder name. And then what are the file name for the image? So src means the location of the image file. For this location, it can be relative or it can be absolute. Do you know the difference between relative and absolute? The relative path is something like this one. So if the folder is located in the root of that HTML, then it is relative. But you can also mention the absolute. For example, you want to make it in the folder C slash users slash download. So it is the absolute. You need to put what is the drive, what is the first folder, what is the next folder, and so on. ALT means alternate or alternative. It means if you cannot find your image, then it will substitute with the text. The other is just a kind of additional attribute to make sure that you have a specific height or width, or do you want to have border or not. Now let's see if I want to make the image. Let me download one image first. Google image. Let me just download any Google image. Okay, let me download this. Darren Irama Jojang. Oh no, this is another web file. Let me just save the very common. Okay, this is .png. I think this will be better. Let me save here images.png. Maybe I will make a new folder for a collection of images. I will make the img folder. So every image will be in this folder. And then, okay, let me just put this one. Let me make a new one. Okay, let's just make one image. And the image name that I already mentioned before is the image.png, images. Am I right? img and images.png. Okay. Okay. Now I will save it. Let me make show image. Oh. Show image.html. Okay, if it is in the form of HTML, the notepad will show the text in the blue color automatically. So if your color is still in the gray, it means it is text file. Okay. Now let's see, show image. Oh, we cannot see the image. Right. The source is okay. Images.png. Shall we delete this one? Okay. Yeah. Because of the slash, additional slash, it is not working. Then we have, like what I mentioned to you, the ALT. What is ALT? It is the substitute text for display. So I can put the ALT here, ALT equals to no image found, for example. Now I will do again like before. I will just do the slash like this, and then I will open again. What you can see here is the message. No image found. Then we know that something wrong with our code. It is difficult to know the errors in HTML. So sometimes we need to make a kind of this way to check where is the error. Okay. Then if we know this is the problem, of course, there might be some ways to fix the source code. And yeah, if you change this one, then you will see the figure and the text will not appear. Okay, that's the meaning by the alt. About the height, width, and border, I think it's not that difficult. We just need to define the pixel about the size of the image. And there are some other texts like the HR. HR means the H is the horizontal rule, R is rule. So it means I want to make a line. We can define the size and we can define the width. Okay. And then some of the in the HTML they have the center. It means they want to make it in the center of the page, but it has been deprecated. Deprecated means they are not using this tag anymore because some developers they make a new extension for the HTML. So we will check with more things, the new things in the HTML later. Okay, let me check with this one. MISC.html. So even though the code has been deprecated, we can still see, okay, this is the rule that I mentioned to you. The size is 5. So 5 is the thickness and width is 70%. It means it will not be full on all the screen, but it is the 70% of the screen. And then the hello world, it has been deprecated, but we can still see it is in the center. And then font, yeah, it is related to the font of your text. So the font size is 3, and then here I want to increase the font size plus 4. So it is bigger than the original one. So this is the HR, is the horizontal rule. And then this is the center to put the word into the center of the page. This is the font size 3, and the color is blue, and then this is the font with the size plus 4. So yeah, we increase the size from the original size with plus 4. So other thing that we need to understand from the HTML is about order. The order, or we call it OL, it is the order list. It is to put some kind of list, and there are two types. The first is order list and the other is unordered. For the order, let's look at this format. We use OL and close by OL. So OL, this is the starting and then this is the ending, and it has several types. So if it is 1, you will see 1, 2, and 3. If it is A, then you will see A, B, C. If you have specified with the small a, then it will be in the letter A, B, C in the small letter. If you put I, big I, then it is the Roman numbers, like 1, 2, 3 like this. If you use the small I, then it will be the Roman number with the small letters. So the second one is the unordered list. The unordered list means we have no order. So no ABC, not 1, 2, 3, but we just put the, like this one, this, or circle, or square. So we can define this one in the type. So whether it is this, or circle, or square. And we can also make a kind of definition in the HTML. In the HTML, we have the tag DL, it is the definition list. It means if you want to make a definition of something, yeah, it is similar with the, if you learn Python, there is a kind of dictionary. So in the dictionary, we have the key and value. So the key is something you want to define, and then the value is the description. So for example, text in DT, I want to explain about HTML, and I want to make the definition DT. So the definition is, it is a markup language of something. So DT is the text CSS, and then language used to something. And in the DL, it is a list that has been rendered without bullets, and for every of the indentation, it will be for every of the text will be indented. It will be later indented like this one in the result. Yeah, let's see. List.html. And you can see the first OL. So OL is order list. If the type is 1, then it starts with 1, 2, 3. The second is UL, unordered list. The type is this. So you can see this is the type of this. DL is the description list. So you can define, for example, in this HTML. So the definition is a markup language designed for the creation of the web. And you can see the result will be like this one. Yeah, you can change the type. For example, I want to change the type of A. Then it will be ABC. So you want to change this to square. So the type will be in the square. Okay. If you want to create a kind of special characters, so there are some special characters. So later maybe we need to make a condition. So I want to know whether the number is greater than 5. So I need to make this symbol. But in HTML, we know that it should have the tag like this. Then how can we use the symbol greater than or equal or the less than? Okay. So the HTML provides a kind of HTML entity. So we need, you don't need to memorize this one. Sometimes the HTML can generate it for you. Or maybe we need to address this kind of condition with another way. For example, if we use Python, then we can use Python to figure out this one, or we can use JavaScript to figure out this kind of mathematical things. Yeah, now we will learn only the HTML. After the mid exam, we will learn about the JavaScript. So these are some of the entity, for example, copyright, or this is registered trademark. So this is very important in the web. Or this is trademark sign. So this is to inform that this symbol or this information should get approval if you want to copy. If we have the copyright, then you cannot copy by you cannot copy for free. Okay, you need to get the approval and so on. And some symbol like this one, N, okay, or some symbol with the currency symbol. Okay? So they have the entity to represent this kind of symbol. Now, let's see these special characters. Can you understand these special characters? It is difficult. Okay. So next, maybe when you want to refer to any website with the HTML file, you may see this kind of symbol. But don't be so worried because this symbol represents something. For example, I will just try to put this. If you put into the HTML file, it's not easy to look at this one. Okay. But maybe some of them is not difficult to understand, like GT, so greater than, and then copy, and so on. Now let's see. Okay. So you can see here, this is greater than, this is less than, and then we have a space. Okay, this indicates the space and the space, no break space, so they put as a word, and every of this symbol will start with the symbol N. And later on, you will know that this symbol N refers to the special character. And some of the special character you cannot represent with character like this one, GT or NDSP, no break space. But sometimes it is in the numbers. That's why it is a number that can be increased more. And we have some specific dictionary for this number. If you have this one, you can see this number refers to this triangle. Okay. And then this number represent the this symbol in the cup, and so on. If you want to find this symbol, of course you need to get some of the dictionary. Okay, let me stop here. Let's have a break.